varying opinions for and against it. I've had some people say that the bills seem like vague and hard to understand. Reading it, I'm not sure if that's a thing in the future, like make the bill understandable by the common people, I guess. And then the second thing is, what are specific things you can do to alleviate the prison system so bad? Do you have specific ideas?
For the prison system?
Yeah.
We can all speak to that at all.
I know that the prison system, we're early in a complete recodification of our criminal code. We are trying to, just last session, I believe, we did everything to our criminal code that we're doing to our B&B code. We're completely kind of starting over. We want to, and in that huge, massive piece of legislation was the restructuring of penalties. Some crimes got more time, some got less, and the idea was rehabilitation, trying to make sure that the most violent criminals are locked up, but ones that aren't are somehow transitioned back into society. And the intent is to, instead of just keep building prisons, maximize the assets that we have today. And that has just been done last session, and it's in its early stages to see how well or how not well we've done with that. So watch that as that develops. And what was the other question with respect to the RFRA language? To my knowledge, the language in that bill is kind of uniform. In other words, it's language that's used in the 19 states that have it as a statute, and also uses the same keywords like compelling interest that the 11 court decisions in other states have used. It is very legalese, it really is. But the reason is it's not really directed to the public. It's directed, it is in terms of protecting their rights, but it's directed to the courts. It tells them what to do, and they understand what it says, and that's probably one reason why it's so complicated.
And I will say, somebody asked when they came in, they would like a copy of the bill. You can pull it up on the computer. However, if you don't have it, if before you leave you'll just ask for your name on this list, I'll mail you a copy of the law so you can read what it actually says.
So it's like 4 pages long, and the first 3 pages, I believe, or 2.5, are definitions. So if you can get past the definitions, because it's telling the court what certain definitions mean in the wording, you get to one small paragraph, and it basically says an individual cannot be required to be substantially burdened against their religious belief. So I think a lot of people are focusing on the same-sex issue, but if you will take that out, and we'll just leave it up to the courts, but let me give you an example. Should a person who is of the Jewish faith be required to photograph, to participate in maybe a neo-Nazi event? I mean, I think when you take a different situation, a different example, then you start to look at it a little differently. I don't know. So now we will have this law that guides the court to look at this law and see, should this Jewish person be required to participate in something that is that is in conflict with their faith.
But as a business person, you have the ability to refuse that on your own in another way. You can say, I'm in the book,
Right. But if you get sued, and that party is trying to force you, you have this defense. And so the courts can look and say, you cannot be required to do it.
Okay, so if my religious belief is that I get to beat my kid because it says I can in the Bible.
Well, we as a society have a very compelling interest not to beat our kids. So the courts would say, okay, they're going to weigh, should we allow people to beat their kids and weigh that against their religious belief that they have to beat their kids? I mean, that's